Why you wanna get closer to me now? I don't wanna have you to hold me down. You say I can make you feel good, You say I can make you feel.
Okay, hey, welcome to my channel. My name is JD/Jordy, and I'm so excited to be making this video. So, I got a lot of good feedback from my last two videos, and I wanted to explain all of the software that I use. First and foremost, I use Kittl, and I'll do like a little demonstration of everything so you guys can understand how it works and what you can use it for. You can use Kittl for everything. You can use it to design t-shirts. You can use it to send over like vector images to a distributor. You could use it for journal covers, you could use it for logos, you could literally use Kittl for anything. You could also pay for, I think they have like Kittl Premium, and you can get, I think, better quality uploads. So personally, I screenshot off of Kittl. That is just a pro tip. Screenshot your images if you want the best resolution. I do it on my MacBook, so it's a lot easier for me to just make something, screenshot it. It's the best resolution that it could be, because sometimes exporting it, the pixels are fucked up. So just so you know, when you use Kittl, that's an issue that I've come across. From there, I would go to Adobe Creative Cloud. Adobe Creative Cloud has all of the tools and necessities that you literally need to be making logos. If you want to make a logo from scratch in your own handwriting, you could do it on Adobe Creative Cloud. It's not that hard. I think honestly, just getting used to playing with it yourself. I took a class on digital art, but Illustrator, I literally just figured out myself. I didn't do any tutorials, I didn't watch any videos. I kind of just played with it and figured it out. And then I watched one on how to inflate stuff. So if you want to make something fun, you could do that. I've also seen people make like mock-ups on there, and it's really, really interesting how they do it. You can do anything on Illustrator, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, it's a student discount if you guys are interested. I know sometimes it's a little bit pricey, but if you're a student, you might be able to get it through your school. Okay, next, I have everything written down in case you guys are like, why you got a notebook all of a sudden? Blender 3D is how I made my swinging pendant, and I'm gonna be honest, this is one of my favorite things I've ever done. I'm gonna do a swinging Christmas tree for my December 14th launch, and I'm gonna do a whole video on that and me making the behind the scenes because I think it's gonna be kind of fun. But Blender 3D, if you have any free time on your hands and you want to get better at graphic design, learn how to use Blender. You can make your own clothing on Blender. You can make a pop-up shop and do a whole advertisement. You can make an intro for your website on Blender, and it's all kind of cohesive and it all looks the same. If you play The Sims, if you play any video games, you can use assets from video games in Blender. Like, you guys, it's really free money is how I'm starting to look at it, because there's so many things you can do for yourself for free just using assets online. It's so cool. Next, I'm gonna say Canva. I don't use Canva very often, but Canva is a good kind of substitute for Kittl if you're not interested in learning how to use a whole different software. But Canva's fun. You can do a lot of cool stuff on Canva. I've seen the girls make insane tutorials on TikTok for Canva, and I'll put literally like some kind of demonstration for all of the things that I mentioned. But next, Pinterest. If you guys aren't getting inspiration on Pinterest, what are you doing? If you're just using Pinterest to like download maybe some ideas here and there or do like a vision board, cool, but you can really be utilizing Pinterest to market. You can be using it to figure out how you want to make your logo. You could find fonts on Pinterest. Sometimes people post their stuff on Etsy. You can find like a whole way to create a brand identity on Pinterest. Like, everything is on Pinterest. It's like everything is on Pinterest. It's crazy. From there, with 3D and stuff, if you want to make your own fonts or if you want to find customary fonts, I would go on FontSpace and DaFont. I'm going to tag everything down below so you guys could check it all out. But FontSpace and DaFont have the best fonts. I've noticed that with FontSpace, unless you have it on like a computer, sometimes on Phonto it doesn't always work, but if you import all of the fonts to Phonto, you can literally just do it on your phone. You don't need any extra software. You don't need a computer. You don't need an iPad. This is how I used to make my logos, you guys. I used to do on PixArt as well. PixArt, I'm not really going to mention as much. If you're interested in doing your own kind of design, PixArt is kind of old school in my opinion. It's a little outdated, but it's really similar to Kittl in a way. So yeah, you can also do custom fonts. And a way to do custom fonts, like I mentioned earlier, is using Adobe Illustrator. You could also literally just draw it out and take a screenshot. and just trace over it in any kind of software. You could do it on your phone if you really wanted to. I would recommend getting a stylus, honestly, because it works the best that way. I have an iPad, but if you have a stylus, that way it's going to be easier for you to make sure all of your lines are crisp and clean. But there's ways that you can kind of stabilize a pen regardless, so you don't need any additional tools. From here, just additional stuff that I would have is a digital camera, because I take all of my pictures. I didn't take some of my recent product images with the digital camera, and you can tell. So a digital camera is a must-have. And then I would get a Cricut, because let me show you guys. These are the tags that I make on my Cricut, and they are so fucking cute. Let me see if it could focus. I don't know if it's gonna. Oh, yay! So cute. I just used like the iridescent Cricut vinyl. It's iron-on vinyl. And all you have to do is get one of the little tools that pull up the vinyl. And I have a Cricut Joy Extra. You could even just get a Cricut Joy. You don't need the big ass machine, you know. You could get one of the smaller ones if you don't have that much space, or if you don't want to drop a bag on something that you're going to be using maybe once a month to make tags, right? But yeah, I definitely recommend a Cricut. Cricut comes with Cricut Design Space, so you download that and it's free. You could pay extra for custom designs. They have a lot of designs on there. But besides that, you guys, I feel like that's it. I went over Kindle, I went over Adobe Creative Cloud, I went over Blender 3D, Canva, Pinterest, Phonto. That is all you need, really, to start a brand digitally. I would personally recommend as a platform to ship and sell on is Shopify. If you don't want to have people buy pieces and you want to do it custom, I would recommend even just making a Canva website, because that way you don't have to be paying every single month for a website while you're figuring out your custom business, you know? You don't have to worry too much about it. I would start on Depop or Etsy. I can make a whole guide on how I grew my account to 1,000 followers. I'm not very active on Depop anymore. I still post all of my drops, and I'm gonna have some exclusive items on there for the girls who get it, you know? But yeah, that's all you really need. It's not that hard. You guys can find like an asset that's very similar to what you want it to be like, and kind of tweak it and figure out how to use Kindle and make it more ideal to how you want it to be. But with everything that I gave you guys, hopefully this can help you make concise branding and be able to really put yourself into everything you do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope that this video helps. I've had a few people ask me what kind of software that I use for my editing, and yeah, it's mainly Kindle and Blender. So I'm gonna make more on how I do certain graphics, and I'm also going to have my Christmas tree pendant come out soon. So yeah, I'll see you guys then.